So this is part two of Howard Krowitz, director of the movie The Killing of a Japanese Bookie.
Tell us a little bit about your background and how you came up with the idea for The Killing of a Japanese
Bookie. Went into the okay, that's fine. Let me just think for a second, because I don't have a script. Makeup.
Okay. About you can edit it
Okay.
anyway, right?
Got it.
Give it to Drew. He'll.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
you're rolling. You're on.
Okay. So let's just do about the influences of John Cassavetes.
How were you influenced by the films of John Cassavetes?
Well, I've been a big fan of him pretty much all my life, and I remember seeing his original movie in 1976, The Killing of a Chinese Bookie, starring Ben Gazzara. And then I remember when the 78 cut came out, it was very good here. And what I remember the most was really his filmmaking style. He was a independent filmmaker. He wanted to kind of do things he wanted to do that way. He wasn't a typical Hollywood director, which is kind of impressive to me here. And what I really like most about it is his filmmaking style. He did a lot of handheld camera work here, a lot of real tight close-up shots. His lighting was very, very dramatic in mood, involving and so on and so forth. And the movie was really all about the character. It was a great Bob movie, one of the best of all time, his original movie. But it wasn't about killing and blood and things like that. It was really about the club owner, Ben Gazzara, that played Cosmo Fratelli. And that was something that stuck in my mind for many, many years. And I wanted to work on doing something like that, and decided to go ahead and do more of a modern version. It's not meant to be a remake in any way at all. It's more of a tribute, you know. It's a tribute to John Cassavetes with the masterpiece.
What drew you to Rocky James Hollywood to play the lead, Dimitri P, in the film?
Well, there are several main characters and actors that I was considering for the main role for this new version here. And I had an opportunity to contact him through another person. He lives in Clearwater, Florida. And he sent me a video audition in that character role of the club owner, Dimitri, part of the Pizookie Lounge. And when I saw his video audition, I watched it about 10 or 15 times, and I knew right then and there he was going to be the perfect actor for the main role of The Killing of a Japanese Bookie. Prior to that, being part of LA and Hollywood, I'm good friends with a very well-known acting coach. Her name is Bobby Chance. She's been in the business for 40-some years. She's trained a lot of actors like Anthony Hopkins, Richard Dreyfuss, Penny Marshall, Brad Pitt, so on and so forth. And when I was living in LA, I attended a lot of her classes where she would invite a lot of studio people, directors, things like that. And a little while ago, I had the opportunity to meet her son, Richard Chance, who's a very, very good actor. And before I had the opportunity to meet Rocky James, I was going to go ahead and cast Richard Chance, but once I saw Rocky James's audition, I just knew that he could do a fantastic job with the part of the Dimitri, the club owner. And what's interesting about him, he's not your typical actor. He comes from a background of construction work and carpentry work in the Clearwater area. And he's been in a couple other movies. I saw him in the film a couple years ago playing a character by the name of Vince McMahon in the movie Andre Heart of the Giant. And he really did a very, very good job with that. And because he has kind of an unusual name, I just remember the name. And when I had an opportunity for us to contact one another, it just hit me like this guy could be absolutely perfect. So he really nailed a lot. And what's nice about it here is he took maybe a month, maybe 2 months off of work as a construction worker in the Clearwater area and as a carpenter, on site here to actually really get into the character, or really get into the role of the character of Dimitri, the club owner at the Bazooka Lounge. And what's interesting is he went ahead on his own time and his own dime and things of that nature, and actually went to meet and visit a lot of actual strip club owners in the Clearwater area. There's a million of them there, and he spent hours and hours talking and interviewing the club owners because he really wanted to be able to really play that role where he came across, which he did in the film, as a true club owner, his relationship with his employees and with the girls working and so on and so forth. So he did an absolutely fantastic job, and that was the reason why we decided to actually film it in Clearwater as opposed to your typical LA Hollywood type of movie. And then we were able to find a very good casting director by the name of Marty Morando, who casted it here. And then I made a couple of trips from LA and Denver down to Florida to meet everybody, and we decided to work on the project. So that's kind of the story. So Rocky James really did a great job, and he just nailed it. The other thing, very briefly, is the fact that we're not trying to, it was the original was by Ben Gazzara, and he's a great actor. He nailed it for the original as Cosmo Zitelli, but being a modern version, Rocky James really nailed it for Dimitri, the club owner.
The film will be in theaters this year, 2011?
Well, the movie's in the can, and we're going to have our director's cut showing and screening at Paramount probably mid-April. And then we're going to start submitting the film, the full-length feature film, to all the well-known film festivals, including Cannes, including Sundance, Toronto, things of that nature. And we hope to get it picked up by a distribution company at some of the film fests. Otherwise, we have other people in the business that are interested in picking it up and getting it, fully and completely distributed by the end of this year.
Very good. Good luck with The Killing of a Japanese Bookie.
Okay, thank you.